Well, what do you mean, Thomas? Bring the Squatch style. Come on. Hey there, everybody. Welcome to another edition. Hey, Liana. Hey, Little Twisted. I'm still packing, everybody. Curtis, you and your chickens. Yeah, Curtis got in trouble, I heard, by Old Bear. So welcome, everybody, to another edition. Hey, Barb, Mike, Tom, how y'all doing tonight?
Good. How are you, Grizzly? Tom and Mike.
Yeah, good to see everybody. It really is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Oh,
This is our therapy for the week.
Yep.
Yeah, right?
That is for sure.
So I am still packing, ladies. I got the car packed. Now I'm just got to pack the rest of the camera equipment, batteries and chargers and cords and computers and
The big screen.
Yeah.
That's the big job, isn't it?
So yeah, I don't know how many people sleeping in my tent. I lost
Really?
count. So Curse said on TikTok Live. I was just on TikTok Live, and he was like, somebody's got to bring the beans. Can't have beans without being around the campfire. And I'm like, not in my tent.
My goodness.
So anyway, how's everybody doing tonight? Yeah, I know, right? My tent's got a lot of windows. I love it.
There'd be enough hot air in your tent to begin with. Then they need to make the beans.
Oh my gosh!
Last time I went out to ate beans, and 3 of them didn't work.
Oh boy!
Well, that's the way to start the show, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. Welcome. So I lost my train of thought.
Rebecca, is Rebecca here? We need the tow truck on standby.
Goonie Goo Goo. Yeah, there you go, Thomas. Goonie Goo Goo to you too. Hey, McMillan. Nice to have you there. Round of applause for you there, kind sir. Absolutely. Nice to have you. So, Barbara, I heard you having a lot of activity around your house again.
I am, but and I wanted to try to have some audio ready for us, but I have to have it amplified and whatever, and then the junk taken out, because I sent it to Tom, and what do you think about it, Tom? I mean, other than the one that you gave.
I think it needs more work than I can do. I'm not an audio expert by any means. I can just play with it a little bit and listen to it, but there's some neat stuff going on in there. Some really neat stuff, and it needs somebody that knows what they're doing. Yeah.
Which obviously isn't me either. I have the ability now to make stuff like a lot louder, but you know how it kind of drowns out and messes up with the quality of it.
Sure.
So 2 things I'll just say, as far as I had 2 pretty cool pieces of audio in the last week. So the first one was that one that I sent to you, Tom. It almost sounds like a human yelling for help, but not quite. It's creepy. So I was how I like listen overnight. I'm listening to one of the cameras, and if my daughter and her husband, if they're watching TV in the family room, I usually just forget it. I just turn off the recorder, because I don't want it to be the television to like affect the recording. There's no sense. I don't want fake. You know what I mean? Like results. So I turned it on, and I couldn't hear the TV, but I heard this, I don't know. It's like, hey, or help, or something like that. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Let me listen. I was really thinking that this was a human. Okay. And so, and it sounded like they were maybe like down toward the water. So I'm like, oh my gosh, maybe it's somebody that's, that's needing help. That's, I don't know, came off of a boat or stuck in the water. So, I came out to the family room, and I said to my daughter and her husband, I said, could you guys turn off the TV? And they're like, yeah, what's going on? And I'm like, I can hear this on the camera. So they're like, well, wait a minute. And so he said, would you want me to go outside? And I'm like, no, let me just hold on a second. And it was like, and then it kind of stopped. I know. And then it kind of stopped, and then it started again. And then I said, okay, turn on the television, because I want to hear if it's something on the TV, in the program. Well, then I heard it right before they turned on the TV. I could hear it again without the television. So it definitely wasn't anything on the television. And you could actually hear it moving closer. So I went outside, and I turned on this, our spotlights in the backyard, and I nothing. I couldn't see anything. I didn't hear anybody yelling. I didn't hear it again. Then I sent the recording to my son-in-law, and he's like, oh my gosh. He's like, I think that somebody's going to need help. Maybe they need help. He said, I'm going to go outside and just kind of yell, like, does anybody need help? I know. I'm like, okay, but just be careful. So no, nothing. Nothing. And then, and then when we heard it, when we listened to it the next day, it's like, no, it doesn't. It sounds like a human, but not quite. So there we go.
You don't think it's a banshee, do you?
No, this is definitely, you know what this sounds like? Remember that recording that I got in late May that sounds very, very human. I know I played it on the show. I think I have it on my YouTube, but it sounds very human. And that's what this sounded very similar to.
Wow.
Yeah. JJ Messenger, he was able to amplify it a little bit, and he said that it actually sounds like he works with adults with special needs that are nonverbal. And he said that's what it sounded like to him. And I said, oh, yeah, that does. But okay, so it could be, could be.
So what do you do? Imitate it back?
No, I didn't do it.
I'm asking.
No, I don't know.
On the deck. Let me tell you something. When I went to Arizona, and we was gonna go up the mountain, somebody was like, "What is that?" And I was like, "That's a 4.4 mag." They're like, "What do you need that for?" I'm like, "Something big." They're like, "What the heck? They're like, what do you think we're gonna run into?" I'm like, "If I know." I'm just saying.
They're like, whatever it is, you're ready.
I know. They're like, "What's that on your hip?" I'm like, "That's just to the car."
Yep.
Well, our hair's like this long.
Let me say, though, our deck is like, I don't know, maybe 30, 40 feet off the ground. So I wasn't that worried about that, but yeah, and we are locked and loaded here. So I didn't have it strapped on me, but we will. But I was thinking, it's, oh my God, it's somebody in the water that needs help. And then I was going to be like, oh, well, yell down, or that's what my son
said. Look, she's going to go down and check. How the hell?
No. And I said to my son-in-law, don't. No, because you just don't know. It could be, I don't know. But now that's not the creepy. No, that's not the creepiest. The creepiest was a few nights ago. So that was last, it would have been Thursday night, Wednesday night or Thursday night. No, it was Wednesday night, last Wednesday night. So the creepiest was 3 nights ago, I turn on the camera and right away it's like this. Now this is so creepy and I can't wait for you guys to hear this. It's like somebody moaning, and it's so creepy. It went on and on. It got closer to the house, and then it finally stopped. And then the next night I heard it again. Now I did I think I put one of them on the YouTube, the first one on my YouTube channel, and people were saying that they couldn't hear it. So if you want to try to listen to it, go ahead and listen to it on there. There's also, this is kind of funny. There's also a bird. I'm almost positive this is a Sasquatch. It sounds like it's a human pretending like a bird, like caw-caw, 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 like definitely.
Hey, what's that movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger? Go to the chopper! And they're all sawing down the woods. That's what I'd be doing. Right there, I'd be mowing down those trees. What's the name of that movie, guys? I can't remember thinking the name of that movie.
Wait,
what is that?
Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Get to the chopper. Remember where he's in the woods? They're fighting that creature that's cloaking.
That's any of the movies he made, isn't it? In the woods fighting a creature.
All those Terminator movies, I don't know.
No, it's not Terminator. What's that? Yeah, Predator. I can't
Predator.
Yeah. That's what I'd be doing to the damn trees. Hold them down. Hearing that
It's just like with Sasquatch neighbors, No.
No.
No,
and
they're having, what? It's kind of cute though, because and this is cute because they're in the meantime, there's a bunch of stuff getting thrown at the camera, and you guys know that, and you've seen that. So, yeah.
Oh my God.
Good times. So anyway,
That's
so what about you guys?
well, you're missing a chance here if you don't contact them. They're doing everything in
Tom,
their
you
work.
would walk in the woods, be like, "Come on, roses are red, violets are blue. You come hold my hands and let's love each other too," or something.
I do, Tom. I do. No, I do. As a matter of fact, last night was raining. 2 nights ago, I was out on the deck trying to talk to them at dusk and playing the music that I was told that they like. So,
what kind of music did you play?
Well, they like the the song "Yellow" by Coldplay.
What?
And yep, and Heart-Shaped Box by Nirvana. Because there's I know. There's a chord. There's like a major chord that that goes through both of the songs. I don't know. I forget. I don't know. I don't know music. GB. I don't know something. And and so when I put my concert on, like I pretend like I'm singing and playing the guitar.
They're probably out there like, what the hell is she doing?
Probably.
That lady is crazy.
I know, right?
Get out. You can't make this stuff up, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, Lord.
What did you do in your free time last night, Barb? I serenaded the Sasquatch.
Yeah. But I, they have been rewarding me by, I can, when I don't have a phone or whatever, I'm not trying to take a picture of them. I told you in that one spot that I can kind of peek in and see them all the time. They just kind of sitting around. It's so crazy. Cool. It's really cool.
They're just hanging, waiting to see what's going on with the Hartman family.
You don't get to do the Diane Fossey thing unless you make contact with them.
I'm trying. I don't know what else do you think? What do you suggest? What else do you suggest, Tom?
I'm taking my crystal bow down to Salt Fork. It's the God Note. 400, I think 34 megahertz is God frequency. I'm going to take that down there and see what happens. Because I played it on TikTok live and a couple of women were like, "What was that?" They're like, it went right through my body. I was like, that's the crystal bow. And they never experienced it before, the frequency. And if you never, ladies and gentlemen, ever heard frequencies, go out there on YouTube and listen to them. And actually, it really affects your body, different frequencies. So, little twist is like, good Grizzly. Hell, I'm gonna. Hey, if something jumps out of the bushes, whoever's sitting next to me is gonna hold that bow while I try to run. I'm gonna say.
Reach over and wrap him in the kneecap.
Take a chair out.
Ooh.
Barb,
I don't have to outrun. I don't have to outrun that. I just have to outrun you.
That's right. That's right. Unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I got it right.
No. Establish communications with them. That's the first thing.
Yeah. Just take a chair out and have a seat. Talk to them. See what happens.
Okay.
That's right.
That's what I'll try. Yeah.
It all comes from there. Mm-hmm.
I learned that from Tom about 3 years ago when we first met. And it really has been an effective method for us in the evenings a lot of times. So, but in your situation, I mean, you're there every day.
Yeah.
They know you're there every day. It might even be more effective. But
I think they
what you need to do is talk to them like that.
Yeah, that's what I do. I do that quite frequently, and and I think that's when I got those pretty good pictures that Tom had seen last month when when I was playing the music for them and talking to them. But I'll keep trying to do what I'm doing.
That's right. You're making steps in the right direction. Just keep going that direction.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Burn lavender.
Grizzly. So you're going to Salt Fork? Is it Salt Fork, right?
Yeah, Salt Fork. Yeah, I'm leaving probably around 5 or 6 in the morning.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's about 4-hour drive.
Is that close to Athens?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's right, because it's not Ohio.
Salt Fork, just about every one of the Bigfoot cable TV shows out there has done something at Salt Fork. You know, just about.
Yes,
I mean,
everybody has.
I mean, that's you name off the shows, and they've had an episode at Salt Fork, and so that should be an interesting weekend for you.
Well, they say it's going to be every August. They have a lot of activity out there, so I don't know. Yeah,
we had where I live in an assisted living facility, and we had a lady today turned 100.
That's awesome.
I told her, okay, now you got to start over. And she wasn't too happy with that. But she had some relatives here from out of town for her celebration. And one of those was from Salt Fork area in Ohio.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty interesting.
We were talking about Sasquatch today, this afternoon.
Cool.
And I started telling her a little bit about who was there. And they're, oh yeah.
Cool. Wow.
We got Sharon watching us from Belgium. We want to welcome.
Oh wow!
Welcome
Awesome.
Sharon from over across the pond in Belgium.
Hey Sharon, nice to have you. Round of applause for you there.
Cool.
Yeah.
So there's Salt Fork, and it's about Cambridge. I don't know if everybody knows where Cambridge is. Egypt wildlife area. So
probably quite a ways away from Belgium, though.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
Well, closer than I am.
The reason I'm asking about can you see how could we probably just Google map, right? I saw a report but this was, I believe it was near Athens, Ohio.
Curtis says south of Cleveland is what he's saying. South of Cleveland.
South of Cleveland. Is that where? Okay, so where is that in relation to Salt Fork?
So let me bring up the map again. Let's see here. Share screen.
Yeah, and I'll tell you why. I saw this really pretty compelling report. But a woman said that her fiance had. So
there's Columbus to the left. Okay. Pittsburgh's to the right. Yeah. Akron's up Ohio, up above it north.
And Cleveland's on the lake up there about mid-state.
Right.
Okay, so you're up there between Columbus and Pittsburgh, off of Interstate 70.
Right.
I see.
Okay, yeah, that is. Yep. Curtis is right. Yep. Wayne National Forest is near Athens. So they're sorry, let me turn my phone off. It's sound. So this woman, her fiance's family bought a cabin near there and had and they have like 12 acres, and she said it's just completely remote. And so she and her fiance and her daughter, who's 7, they were going out. They said, oh, let's go out for a night hike, because they like to, I don't know, for whatever reason. I guess it's very pretty, Lord. Illuminated. She didn't know anything about Bigfoot and doesn't, I mean, she knows of, but they're not Bigfoot enthusiasts. They didn't believe it, so they're going out. So they're just walking along, and I think she said her dog started to stopped and kind of started to growl and refused to move. They had it on a leash though, fortunately. And her daughter, and they're like, what's wrong, to the dog. And the daughter starts to oh my God, there's a man. There's a man. We have to go back. There's a man. So she's screaming. The mom and dad or whatever are like, wait, where's this man? They didn't see. So they go back to the cabin, and the little girl's super upset. And she said it was a tall man. She said, they think maybe 8 feet, because basically the guy was 6'3", and then so she's saying it's that much taller, so 8 feet, and glowing eyes, it had 2 flashlights in his eyes. And so this woman was like, do you think that this could be Sasquatch? It's yeah, that could be Sasquatch. So yeah, so the little girl could see, and she didn't know. She said, my daughter does not know anything about Bigfoot or Sasquatch. So pretty interesting.
Wow.
Yeah, poor thing.
Wow.
So, but and the mom was like, "Why? Why couldn't we see it?" And I said, "Well, maybe the child is first of all, don't they say that children a lot of times can see things that adults, really can't? We lose that ability. And then she just vibrates at a higher frequency. I don't know, but poor little thing." Hey, Scott.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Yes, it is. So, Mike, you've got some pretty cool stuff.
We had a little interesting Cape Girardeau County activity in the last couple of weeks. My friend Matt L. Frank and he and I go out a lot. He's the one that went out with me when I went out with the students last spring. And Matt's also an avid fisherman, and he goes up there in North Cape County at the boat ramp at the Apple Creek, which flows into the Mississippi River, probably about a 3/4 mile from the Mississippi. So it's not a little creek. It's still big enough there close to the mouth of the Mississippi where you get a boat in, and when the river backs up a little bit, the catfish coming off the river, and he goes up and to catch a mess of catfish. And he knows good and well, as we've done this for about 4.5 years now, that the Sasquatch are that's where we do a lot of our research too. And so he goes up, I guess it was a week ago Tuesday, to fish, and he sees right there next to the boat ramp in the mud, he sees a nice 14-inch print deep into the mud. And he decided not to fish that day, and he went home, got his casting material, and put a cast on it. And I know I texted you and Grizzly a picture of the cast. I don't know, it's a beautiful cast, about 14 inches long, about 5 inches wide. My guess was, I told him, my guess is a female with the narrower foot, as opposed to, I think, a juvenile male would have a little wider foot. Just guesstimating. And so he pulled that out of the ground on Wednesday when he went back up there and did some fishing. Now, his fishing story is this. He puts in about 6 o'clock in the morning, goes, toward the river and fishes for about 3-4 hours maybe. Catches a handful of good catfish. And when he comes back, he's a one-man deal. He'll park his little John boat and kind of tie it up there close to the ramp, go up, get his truck, back trailer down. People, boaters know how that's done. And he said when he gets there at the ramp, there are 2 fishing rods. Poles are stuck in the mud going out into the creek, but they're abandoned. Nobody's monitoring them. He goes, they weren't there when I went in, put in. He goes, I'm sitting there questioning why are these not monitored? Where's the person at that's fishing? And he said he looks up the ramp to the parking lot, and he sees this guy standing by his truck looking very, very nervous, and he keeps watching the fishing rods, and he's just real fidgety. He goes, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if this guy's crazy, if he's on drugs or what the deal is, why he's doing this. He says, I'm just going. He goes, normally if you run into somebody, they say, you catching fish, and you kind of exchange some pleasantries. He goes, this guy's not, he's like zoned out. He said, so I'm just going to go get my truck. I'm going to back it down, put the boat, drive the boat up onto the ramp. He goes, so as soon as he got down with his truck into the ramp to get his boat up, he says, this guy takes off running as fast as he can, runs over across the ramp to where his poles are at, grabs his poles and turns around, takes back off to his truck and takes off. Doesn't say a word to anybody. And Matt says, I'm wondering what's going on. Well, as soon as that guy left, right up on the ridge, Matt gets grunted at by a Sasquatch.
Wow.
he said, oh, I knew what, he goes, I knew immediately, he says, what grunted at me, and I knew immediately why this guy was terrified. Because he wasn't prepared for that. And
Wow.
Mr. Sasquatch came by to say hi, and he didn't, he probably overreacted. So Matt said, so he pulls his boat up onto the ramp, gets out, he gets grunted a second time. He goes, and then as I'm getting things tied up and stuff like that, I get grunted a third time by this Sasquatch up there on the ridge. He goes, so I pulled my phone out and hit record so I can record the next grunt. He goes, and as soon as I hit record on my phone, I never heard another peep out of him.
Figures.
And then he drives off. So Saturday Saturday, Matt and I and my buddy Steve, we go back to the boat ramp Saturday evening to take a look. Just to take a look around, take a look-see. Matt said he thought there was another print that could be casted there, so we brought our material with us. There's the picture. That's the picture of the print that Matt cast. You can see how deep that goes into the mud, probably a couple of inches there. And you can see the toes. The toes are just perfectly symmetrical, going all the way, just sliding down the mud and then making the impression into the ground. So we go back on Saturday night, and what we see are 24-inch footprints. They're around the boat ramp. And there's the cast. Wow. Now this print here, if you look at this print here, this, I believe, is the 24-inch print. You can see the outline of the big print, and then inside the big print is a little print.
Oh, my God.
You can see it to the right. That's a little, probably 8-inch long footprint stepping right on top of where the big fella stepped.
Wow. That's cool.
Right inside that. We didn't cast that because we had some runoffs on it. And then there's another 24-inch print. He put his print right on top of where Matt dug that other print out of the ground just 2 days before. Stepped right on top of that. And then we had another 24-inch print in the vicinity as well. And it's not the first time we've seen the 24-inch print up there, which obviously there it is there. We got the measure on that. And it's 24. And, but I wonder this, Tom, if the big fella comes in, and there's the 24.
Wow.
He comes in and he says,
"Oh, Thomas,
I know what you're doing, buddy," in reference to Matt, and steps right on where he dug that thing out. Leaves his print there. Cast this. You want to cast something? Cast this. Mm-hmm. and that's just to me, it's because normally, he's leaving those prints right next to a ramp where there's going to be a lot of human traffic. And to me, he's leaving it there on purpose, saying, you want to mess around, you want to cast some prints or so, here you go. Here's the big guy. So there you see the front.
If you notice that
cast.
If you'll notice that casting too, this is very important to note with tracks and with casting, and it showed in that first picture of the track you saw. The front half where the toes are is much deeper than the back half.
Right.
Okay. That's dead giveaways. That's Sasquatch.
Wow.
In ours, it'll be just the opposite. And the reason for that is the difference in gaits. When we walk, we pole vault over our knees. We land with a heavy heel strike. Okay. When they walk with a compliant gait. And when they do, the foot comes off the ground, the trailing foot comes around and sets down in front of the trailing foot flat. So when they step forward, their weight goes from 100% around the whole foot to where all the weight's on the front half. So the front half doubles in pressure. So it always is going to be deeper in the front than in the back, unless there's a medium problem there, with different types of medium will break there, and one's harder than the other one, that'll change it. But if you're stepping in the same stuff, that's something to look for when you're doing tracks and looking at tracks to find out, because believe me, a hoaxer doesn't know that.
Yeah. And Matt is probably watching tonight. Matt doesn't like to get on camera and talk about this stuff. He's just a behind the scenes guy.
Well, he did a good job there.
He watched last week. I told him last week, because I asked him if I had permission to talk about this stuff and show some pictures. He says, as long as you give me credit. I'll give you credit. But,
job, man.
And then he watched the show last week, and it was all about Old Bear and everything else. He says, are they ever going to let you talk on that show? I said, well, you have to watch next week. You have to watch next week.
Right. Sorry, Matt. Here you go, Matt.
Good job, Matt.
But anyway, he did a super job on that. The casting was great. And this is about this is along the same creek basin and probably about a half to 3/4 of a mile where we cast the print with the kids back in March. On the right in the same vicinity, about a half to 3/4 mile away from that point. So the good job, good activity in the 24-incher. And you wish you knew who the guy was, that ran away.
Yeah.
What did you hear? What do you know? Now, this here is my cutout, and I got it on my wall in my office. I got it mounted. When Grizzly and I went to the Woodwalkers conference at Land Between the Lakes last April, they raffled off 100 prizes.
Nice.
Gary Spikes had several walking sticks that were getting raffled, just drawings and giving people things. And Grizzly and I weren't winning anything. We thought that the drawing was rigged.
Wait a minute. Hold up.
From winning anything, right, Grizz?
Hold up. I won an extra small T-shirt that didn't fit. You remember?
Yeah, he won a T-shirt that was too little for him. Gave it back to Spencer Jameson's daughter to wear, who put the program
Oh, that's cute. That's good.
And well, anyway, they get to this cutout. Alan White from up somewhere, Virginia, Pennsylvania, somewhere up in that area. He cut this out of steel, and they went around and had everybody that was there sign it. I signed it. Grizzly signed it. Martin Grove signed it. Martin Nunley signed it. It had a lot of, some of these guys are Old Bear. I guess he probably signed it somewhere on there. Wasn't he there, Grizzly?
I'm not, but I don't know.
Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. But anyway, and then I last drawing, I won that. So, and so I waited. I got my office set up at school, and I will go ahead and had them mounted on the office. So anytime somebody walks into my office, it's kind of a makeshift office in a classroom that holds up to about 10 or 12 kids, which a couple small classes I still teach, as well as being athletic director. So anybody comes in my room, that's the first thing they see, and it makes for a good conversation piece. So, but it's beautiful, and I'll tell you another story. People may get tired of hearing me talk after not talking much last week, but that same boat ramp about 3 years ago, my son and I put in with his boat to go up and do some fishing like Matt does, and there was a couple with their just fishing rod and reels right off the bank next to the boat ramp. They didn't have the boat; they just fishing rod and reel. We get there, we put in, we go down the creek, fish for a few hours, and then we come back to the boat ramp, and they're still there fishing. And and so I'm talking to him as my son's going to get the truck, get boat, and guy says to me, he says, "Hey," he says, "you and your son are pretty big guys." He goes, "Did you guys park your boat over there and one of you guys walking up there on that ridge?" I said, "No." I said, "No." He goes, "Well, there was something big and it sounded heavy." He says, "Walking up on that ridge on two legs, I could hear it." He said, we couldn't see it with the woods. He says, but it was doing some grunting, making some grunting noises. We could kind of hear some heavy breathing up that way. And I just saw you guys. You sure it wasn't either one of you two? No, it was not. It was not us. And I said to him, I said, you know who it was, don't you? He goes, "Well, no." I said, "You're telling me you don't know who that was up there?" He goes, "No, I don't know who that was up there." I said, "That was Mr. Sasquatch." He gave me the funniest look. And here's what he said. He said, "You know what?" He says, that just might explain all the other, when we come out here and fish here at this boat ramp, all the other crazy screams and hollers we hear sometimes. We can't make out what it is. He goes, "You might be onto something there."
Yep.
So I mean, it's just crazy and funny when you talk to these folks and you're in the area, and they're experiencing Sasquatch activity. They have no clue what they're experiencing. The guy gets scared and gets his poles and gets out of the gets out of the woods or gets out of the area as quite fast as he can. Probably has no idea what scared him. And the Sasquatch probably wasn't even trying to scare him. He just probably trying to say, hey, I'm here, and share some fish with me, maybe.
Get some fish, yeah.
But anyway, so that's up there, North Cape County activity, where I'm at. And we've had a couple. Normally I make it a point not to really do much in August, but hey, we decided to go back and check out the footprint area and see what was going on. So.
Hey, Scott M is asking, how tall is a 24-inch footprint? How tall would that be?
It's 13 feet.
You say 13?
13 feet exactly.
24 inch?
Boy. Oh my gosh.
So I got a question. I got a question, Mike.
Yeah, go ahead.
When you have I can't. Hold on. When you have these conversations with these people, do you keep a straight face?
Yeah.
Good. Good. There ain't no way. Because when they look at you, do they just stare at you like?
Sometimes they're like, yeah, right. Yeah, right. But I had now this same area, and I live in town. I live, in the city of Cape, 40,000 people. I'm in the city limits. Now I'm going to investigate either this Saturday or the following one, a guy who just lives within a mile outside the city limits of some structures that popped up in the woods near his property that on his property that he's like, I don't know. Why don't you come out and take a look? But I'm in the city. So the, you talk about keeping a straight face about this stuff. Where was I going with this? You asked me the question. Where was I going with this? But people
sound like me now, Mike.
Yeah, I know it. I know it. But I just tell them, and they look at me like I'm nuts. I'm hey, it is what it is. I'm not just making this stuff up. Once you have those experiences, and I think everybody is here because we had the experience, and then we got curious to know much more about it, and especially in Barb's case. I mean, Barb, when you guys bought that house up there, you had no idea that you would be researching Sasquatch.
No.
But when you bought that house up there and you found out Sasquatch was your neighbor, you have no choice. You have no choice.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So, but that's the thing. And with me, once I've realized, hey, they're not only real, but they're here, I got to find out more about them. I got to find out more about them. And I'm not afraid to talk to people about it. I used to. I'm not afraid to talk to people about it. And I'll just tell them. They'll say, well, I've had people say, well, I've combed all over those woods up there and never seen anything. I said, go comb them with me. I said, once you see the evidence, you can't unsee the evidence.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it. But they'll hear these. They don't know what they're hearing. But the story I'm going to tell, I got a built-in swimming pool at my house, and I got a guy that helps me with the pool. He opens it, closes it, and he's just a good old boy. And he also, where this boat ramp is, where we cast these footprint, or where we show these footprints picture, away from the conservation area, the next farmhouse over to the east toward the Mississippi River, there's a house with a built-in swimming pool, and he also services that pool.
Oh, I know where this is going.
And he come a couple years ago. He stops by the house on a Saturday morning, and I go out. I'm talking with him, and he's getting everything ready, taking the cover off the pool and getting everything ready. He says, Mike, I had the strangest thing happen to me the other night. He goes, I'm losing sleep over it. He goes, I can't wrap my head around what's going on. He goes, I've been in the woods all my life, hunting deer and turkey and things like that. I said, well, what happened? He said, well, do you know where the Apple Creek boat ramp is? And then I knew, okay, now I know what happened, right? I know what happened now. He says, do you know where the Apple Creek boat ramp is? And I said, yeah. I said, know exactly where it is. He goes, well, just to the east of the Apple Creek boat ramp, there's a farm and a farmhouse. He goes, they got built-in swimming pool, and I'm up there at dusk. I'm working on this pool pump. He goes, the sun's going down, and the all of a sudden I hear something growling in the woods. Just I said, how far is the woods from the pool? He says, about 20 yards to the tree line. He goes, trees are shaking. He says, branches are snapping. He goes, something big and heavy is running hard through the woods. He says, and he goes, I'm up there. I'm unarmed. I got a flashlight. I got my tools. I'm trying to fix this pool pump. And I'm just thinking, get this job done and get out of here as fast as you can. And he says, what do you think that could have been? And he has no idea at this point that I'm doing this stuff or I've started a podcast or anything. He has no idea. He has no clue. I said, did you talk to the farm owner and ask him? He said, yeah. I said, what did he say? He said, probably a big cat. I said, do big cats snap tree branches and shake trees like that? He goes, that's what I'm saying. It wasn't a big cat. He says, I'm losing sleep over this. I can't, because I'm having nightmares. I'm waking up and having nightmares about this thing, whatever this thing is out there. He says, do you have any idea what it is? I said, yeah. I said, I think I know exactly what it is. I said, I think it's Bigfoot. He gives me it. And now I got straight face, Grizz. He says, you know what? If I didn't experience that myself, I would say you were full of, you know what. But since I experienced it myself, he said, you might be on to something. And I said, well, actually, I've been up there. I've seen a lot of evidence up there. I said, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I went on, this was the previous satellite image on Google Earth. This was a couple years ago. I went on the Google Earth map. I looked up that farmhouse. I looked up that pool. I zoomed in. I got a picture of it on my phone. I can text it to you. There's a big old 13-foot tall Sasquatch standing next to a tree watching that pool. And wow. I'm telling you that. And I will.
That is cool.
I mean, I'm going to see if I can get this thing text. Now, the newest satellite images retook the pictures. It's not there. It's not there. But you can definitely make out Sasquatch cool. on this. Okay.
That's really cool.
That is insane right there. That is insane. Yeah. Who do we have on that one show, Barb, where Sasquatch was taking baths in the swimming pool? Remember?
Yeah.
They threw a fit, and somebody's grandmother had to come out and scold them, and they stopped.
Yes, I can't remember who that was.
I can't remember either.
Yeah,
Barb,
yeah.
Hey,
I just sent
it to breaking news. I just texted Grizzly and Barb that satellite.
All right, okay. Let me bring it up.
What were you going to say, Tom?
In your area, Scott Taylor has had that experience. One of his investigations was a Sasquatch using the swimming pool.
Yeah, it happens. It literally happens, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, Gorgon, welcome to the show. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here comes the picture. Mike sent it. We got it in action. There it is right there.
No, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That is not a tree. That is not a tree, ladies and gentlemen.
He is standing. You can see the head, the shoulders, the legs. He's standing right there. I did a Google Earth measurement thing, and it said he's 13 feet tall.
Wow.
That is crazy.
At the time, I thought I was misreading something because I thought these things don't get that tall.
Oh, yes, they do.
And then shortly after that, I think I had my first show with Tom Cantrell and Understanding Bigfoot, and Tom. Oh yes, Tom gave me that. Yeah, so yeah, 13 foot tall, and he's the one that's leaving those 24-inch footprints.
There you go.
Yeah.
That wow. And there may be more his size in the claim. I don't know.
But,
but he's definitely one of the leaders of that pack.
That's crazy.
Now, the interesting thing was on that satellite image, though, the pool was covered. So it wasn't during the swimming season. He just there watching the house for some reason. Maybe there's some activity going on. I don't know.
Yeah. Wow.
So.
Very cool.
Wow. Now,
could you send me that picture, please, Mike?
Yeah.
How did you find this photograph? Well, you were just looking on Google Images?
Okay, because after he told me his story, I thought, I want to see where this farmhouse is as opposed to the conservation area. Because maybe there's an area in the conservation area that we haven't explored that we need to go explore. So when I pulled the map up and I zeroed in and I looked at that, I mean, the first you're looking at the whole picture and I'm like, wait a minute, what is that thing? What is that thing next to that tree? And I start zooming in. And zooming in, I'm like, holy cow! That's the big guy.
I love it.
That's what Johnny was up against that night, and he was telling Johnny, he was telling him something. He probably wasn't happy about something. I don't know.
That is amazing.
But that's how I found that, because I thought, well, because we need to go research an area that we haven't done, maybe, and because we've been all over it.
Yeah.
Wow. And Tom, I don't think I got your number in the phone. So as soon as I get it, I'll send this to you.
Okay.
So anyway, that's
cool.
And this is all this picture, the cast that I cast with the kids back in March, and all the stuff we showed tonight. This is all within about 3/4 mile of each other.
Awesome.
Up on the Apple Creek, flown in about a mile from the Mississippi River.
Wow.
Cool.
So.
Hey, Grizzly, I just I sent it to you because it's going to be the easiest. Kenny Thibodeau had done a quick amplification on that one. So if you want to see if that will play,
sure.
And I sent it to the group.
Okay.
It's only 22 seconds, so hopefully we'll be able to hear something. If not, we'll see what we can do.
Okay.
What else we can. This is the creepy thing.
Oh, I just heard it. Hold on, let me rewind it.
Okay.
That sounds like a monster.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it does. I know.
Let me rewind it. You know what that sounds like?
What?
A gargoyle.
Oh, somebody said it. I don't even want to say the word. An SW?
Yes. One more time.
Creepy.
That is crazy.
Yes, and that was the second night. I don't remember if that was the first night or the second night. Anyway, so I have more of that one too. Yeah, so that was there for 2 nights. Woo,
that is crazy. Mm-hmm. That is a little twist. I know, right? I mean, if I heard that out in the middle of the woods, I would empty my pew and take off running. Because that reminds me of a gargoyle.
Yeah. And my husband listened to it over and over and over. He's like, I don't know what. I don't know. He said it sounds like a bullfrog, but not, because a bullfrog doesn't like continue to, go on and on and on. I know.
Yeah, not like that.
No, because this was that sustained, so creepy. And it, and so that was a short one. That was like the best one. So I'm going to just have him, amplify all the I have to kind of go through because it's too long, like maybe one's 5 minutes, one's 8 minutes. So
little twisted. What is it saying there? Why don't you give it some insight?
What is it saying?
Yeah, that's crazy. So I've got headphones on, so I turn my headphones up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's what I suggest everybody. If you can, use the headphones. And so the other thing that I was, and here's what what do you guys think about this? Some of this, especially with the guy that sounded like he's yelling, "Hey," I can hear this like concussive like sounds as it's happening. Do you think it's infrasound that the voice is throwing, or do you think that it's just the little ones like banging around on the roof? What do you guys think about that?
I don't know. Tom, what's your take?
It's not infrasound, or you wouldn't be able to hear it.
Okay. I didn't know if the camera, you know what I mean? I like the camera and my earbuds was picking that up, but no, it's just something else.
That's frequency, and that's got to be below 20 cycles.
All right.
And
Gotcha.
you can't hear down there.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Yeah. Well, then that answers that. Yeah. Because I was talking to somebody about that this afternoon, and we were like, we don't know. So, yeah. Anyway, so more to come about that. Yeah, it does sound like a monster. Yeah. But somebody. Yeah.
Hey, I live with monsters, right? And when I hold old bear, what are you talking? When I hold old bear cough, yes.
What do you mean you live with monsters?
My ex-wife was a demon.
Oh. Well, my ex-husband was. Maybe that's who it is. Maybe it's my ex-husband. No, after 30 years, he's not going to be coming out
Poor
here.
Tom. Tom's like, Grizzly, be nice. I'm going to learn for that one.
I miss my ex-wife, but my aim's getting better.
What the hell? I don't.
Wait, what's getting better? What? But what did you say? I didn't hear it. But what, Tom? But what?
I said I mixed my ex-wife, but my aim's getting better.
Do not ask, ladies and gentlemen. We are not going there.
Great. That's great.
Look at Amy.
Sorry.
Fellas.
We have some demonic exes. I know mine was. Woo-wee.
Oh man. Hey, when I put holy water on her and it didn't work, I wanted to refund. Anyway.
Oh my gosh, that's great, Tom.
Oh my God.
That's good stuff.
I got it. I can't wait to tell that joke.
Which one? The aim?
Yes. Because, yeah.
Oh my God.
People know what it Tom, you wanted to talk about the is it the intermembral index?
Well, I don't know how we're doing on time, but I just did want to run that by.
Yeah.
Because this is a very important thing, because people always ask for proof of Sasquatch. Mm-hmm. Here it is in a nutshell.
Right.
Okay. Intermembral index is the ratio of your arm length, your leg length. It's a facet taught in Anatomy 101 in virtually every college that teaches anatomy. Okay. It is different for every species. Our intermembral index is 72. Our arms are 72% of the length of our legs. In chimpanzees, it's 105. Their arms are just barely longer than their legs. In gorillas, it's like 120. Okay. In Sasquatch, it's 84. Wow. So I did this makeup, this flyer here, this picture, and it's showing Patty's intermembral index. As you can see, the arm is measured from the shoulder to the wrist, and the leg is measured from the hip to the ankle. And if you divide those two, it comes out to 84. The gentleman who's standing there, arm from shoulder to wrist, leg from hip to ankle, divide the two, and it comes out to 72. Now, does that mean that everybody that you test is going to be exactly 72? No. 72 is the middle of the bell curve, and then you'll have your variations from there. But 72 will never become an 84.
Right.
So if you want to tell if a picture is real, do that little test, and it'll tell you instantly. Now, the neat thing, I've just had this was done on Microsoft Publisher and printed as a JPG Then I sent it to banners.com, and they just sent me back today a 2 by 3 foot banner with this on it. Now I can hang that when I'm doing my presentation, and if somebody says, I need proof, just point at it and say, there's your proof.
Yeah.
It's that simple. Okay, because number one, her intermembral index being 84 not only proves the validity of the film, because it's not human. It can't be a human in a suit with an IMI of 84. The only way to do that for me, for my body to go from an IMI of 72 to an 84, I'd have to put 4 inches of length in my arm.
Ouch.
And the only way to do that and get it to balance, the first page people say it's arm extenders. No, that would make your lower arm 4 inches longer than it needs to be. It's supposed to be.
Your elbows out of proportion.
Out of line. You'd have to put 2 inches below the elbow, 2 inches above the elbow for it to work.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I'm not going to allow that to happen. It's more surgery than I'm going to have in the rest of my life. Okay. So if you take this, and that picture is available to you, just take it off my webpage anytime and keep it. That way, when they say, I need proof, there's your proof.
Yeah. That's
number one. Patterson-Gimlin film is real because the IMI is not human. So it's not a human in a suit. Number two, Sasquatch is real because it's an IMI different than ours. Okay.
That's great.
So you've got proof of both right there.
That's awesome.
Awesome. Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay.
Rebecca, she just joined the show too late. My God, we needed you about 35 minutes ago, Rebecca.
Oh.
Awesome.
Don't take that wife whacking personally, Rebecca. I don't think anybody she gets on the show and she's all of a sudden worried about the content, I think. So.
Great. Wonderful.
Great.
All right. So Barb is off tomorrow, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes. I'm going to California to visit my son and my granddaughters. Very excited about that.
What part of California?
He lives in Brentwood, but not the one near LA, the one in Northern California. So like outside of the Bay Area.
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
I grew up in Sonoma, just north of San Francisco Bay.
Wow. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. It's beautiful.
Gorgon, maybe you need to come on the show next Wednesday and talk about your story. We'll send an invitation. We'd love to hear about your story. Make sure and get a hold of one of us, Grizzly Chris on Facebook, or one of us on the panel, and we'd love to talk to you, wouldn't we, guys?
Definitely. Very cool.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, if you want to come on the show, and you don't have to show your face if you don't want to, but if we'd love to have you, love to talk to you about it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Wow.
Yeah, 8-year-olds, Bigfoot, and saw them all the time. See, we hear this as they get older, they come out and start to feel comfortable. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, well, great. We'll call it a night, ladies and gentlemen, and tune in for Justin's show tomorrow. And hopefully everybody's be safe. Barb, enjoy yourself. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
You guys, hey, you too. You too. Good luck with your, hope you
have fun. We expect some reports, Grizz.
Yeah. I'll make sure to keep you up from coast to coast around the world, everybody. Good night. Godspeed. Thank you all.
Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.